Hello and welcome to Mystic Monday, where I pull messages from lights for you to help you live your best, most empowered spiritual life. So I'm pulling a gateway activation card right off the bat. I have a few things that are coming through for you, and this feels very important to start. Third eye activation, brow chakra, inner vision, and clear seeing. I love this. And look at that portal like gateway. So your third eye is right in the middle of your mind. There's a pineal gland in there that's said to be this like cosmic antenna for psychic intuitive abilities and connecting to source. So you are receiving, or I should say, you could be receiving an activation if you are open to it. So, if you haven't already noticed, there has been a lot of unrest in the world. We are still reeling from people's feelings over political situations that occurred, and we're hearing about things like the Syrian government being overthrown. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of heaviness in the world. Yet we always have a choice in how we choose to live in and within our own worlds. And I've just seen in general some irritation of sorts, a lot of fear. There's a lot of change going on. Many of us are being called into a higher purpose, into a higher path. And I said this last week, but when I say higher, I don't mean better than, just a deeper, more empowered life purpose for you to be stepping into and living into. And when these sorts of changes happen, when up leveling occurs, when downloads and light codes and activations are happening in your spiritual realm, it can feel like a bit of discord is going on to get you there, because things have to fall away, things have to break old patterns. Even if it was something positive that you were doing, sometimes these old patterns have to shift and literally break and realign and regrow. And so, for someone who is just kind of at the whimsy of energy, this can feel really unsettling, really destructive. It can feel irritating and frustrating and all the things. But you have a choice within that energy of change to be the calm within the storm, to remain in peace. And how do we do that? We do that through our own rituals that we create, through self care, through pausing, through truly feeling the emotion when it arises. So, what has been a nuisance to you lately? Like, what has been happening in your psyche, your mind, your emotions? Have there been like these little repetitive irritations, like this one thing or this one situation bothers you? And that is for you. Like, if something is irritating you, that is for you, because life is a mirror. There is no irritation except the one that you choose to buy into. Even if you're like, oh, that's just how I am, it's my personality. No, it's really not. I mean, it is, but it doesn't have to be. So unless you love that, if you love to be irritated, which I'm pretty sure nobody does, it's time to remember that you have a choice to take a breath any and every time you feel even the slightest bit of anything that is not joy, bliss, acceptance, love, ease, flow. Anytime you feel a constriction or something other than those high vibrational emotions, pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What is this? Where did it come from? Is it serving me? Is this a habit or pattern I wish to continue to entertain? And see, the thing is it can take 40 days to change a pattern. So most people aren't willing, in my opinion, it's just an opinion. Most people aren't willing to do the work. And I don't even like the word work because it sounds like painful, something we have to do, something added to our to-do list. I don't really see these things as added to your to-do list, because if something is irritating you and you just take a moment to breathe and ask yourself, what is this? Where did it come from? Is it mine? Do I like feeling this way? Do I need to feel this way? What can I do to change the pattern? I mean, really, that's not even more than a minute of your time to just sit within yourself and inquire. And when we do these inquiries within our hearts, within our emotions, within our minds, we become so powerful, like so empowered. We become so in love with ourselves because we start deepening this connection to our inner world and the repetitive thoughts. So that is my overarching message from light that is coming through for you today, is just notice when you're feeling anything that's not of those high vibrations and ask those questions. All right, so while I was talking about that, I pulled from this unshakable inner peace. Trust your faith, dive into the unfolding journey. What is your faith asking of you? I love that it's like this woman, the seeker is on a journey, right? And she's journeying towards the light. So, what is your faith asking you to do? You hear me say it all the time. If you watch these, it means you are a light worker. You are somebody who's helping humanity. And it doesn't matter whether your job is spiritual or any job, you are interacting with tons and tons of people, and what you hold within shines out of you and affects others. So, can you live in more joy and share that? What is his no bearing on what will be? What does your ideal life look like and feel like? You're being asked to dream. If we don't spend time fully feeling who and what we want to be and step into, then we keep remembering the past and we keep staying where we are. So you're being asked to boldly dream what you truly want to be doing and living in what you want your ideal life to look like. Have you ever done that? Have you ever sat and actually asked yourself, what do I want my ideal life to look like? It's important just to spend time in that, because if you don't, you keep remembering the past. And sure, you'll still grow and evolve and change, but maybe you won't step into all that was truly available for you. It's okay to feel what you need to feel. So I love that, because I already said that. If we have something that's bothering us, an irritation, it's important to pause and feel it. The only way out is through, and the only way through is to go with it. So if you have a repetitive mindset that's bothering you, it's time to truly feel it, to integrate it. It has something for you, it has something to teach you. It's not there to make your life harder or to hold you back. It is to help you grow. And once you start flipping your perspective from all of my challenges, trials, tribulations, and traumas are happening for me to put me in, well, not to put you in it, you're already on a spiritual fast track. If you have a life on earth, you chose to incarnate into Earth School, which is one of the most challenging, if not the most challenging places in the whole world to incarnate, because we have darkness here, we have evil here, we have massive contrast. And who are you being when you bypass uncomfortable emotions? You're being soft, you're being weak, and that's not very nice of me to say. I'm not calling you soft and weak, but I am trying to make a point that if you run around bypassing your feelings, numbing out, doing whatever you do to not feel them, then you're robbing yourself of really beautiful divine integration, lessons, growth, things that are available to help you rise. So it's all about your perspective. It's all about that. Whether or not you see something as bad, like we all need rest. We all go through times that we need rest. But instead of saying, oh, I need a little rest, I need some time alone, I need to just, to do some deep meditation, to sleep, to rejuvenate. Instead, we say, oh, I'm feeling a little depressed. I don't know. Maybe I'm upset about something. It's all about your perspective. Believing is seeing. I love that because, we've heard people say, oh, I'll believe it when I see it. Well, in the magic realms, in the spiritual realms, in the realms of bliss and divine embodiment, we have to believe first, and then we will see the magic, because it's hard for us as humans to truly believe in that magic because we're so used to, like, okay, like if we can see it, then it makes sense. So what are you ready to start believing about yourself, about what your life can be, so that you can manifest it? Ascension, the rainbow bridge. So I've been saying the last 2 weeks that we are in an awakening, of course, but an awakening that happens over many, many, many lifetimes. But we are in a quickly, or I should say, a rapid ascension process. And this is just a sign that you're part of it. And see that light coming from their heart. Shine it out from your heart. This is a shorter Mystic Monday today, so I have a couple more cards for you. And I just really wanted to make sure that we were emphasizing this sitting with and inquiring within any and all things that arise for you that are of high vibration. The Beloved. This is a beautiful card. I've not seen this one before. Now, just because it looks to be a man and woman doesn't mean that's all that this card means. It does mean that if there is a love in your life, how can you nurture them with how you speak? Do you see that their flowers or their heads are literally blooming, and their hands are together? They're just, to me, it's just showing a deep connection, almost like where words don't even have to be said, but there's this deep connection, so deep that they are literally both blooming. It doesn't have to be a significant other. It could be a child in your life, or a dear friend, or your mother or your father, but who can you connect with in a beautiful way and send loving thoughts to, so that you both synergistically bloom? Transfiguration. Okay, so this is really also pertaining to everything I was just speaking of. You see, there's fire, there's a snake wrapped around, there's smoke. To somebody who might live in victim mentality, they might think, oh no, everything's crumbling, it's all burning to the ground, I'm losing everything. But to someone who understands the process of change, and look at these very strange, like strange, weird flower like things. But so for somebody who doesn't understand growth, see a seed when it has to burst open. This is like somebody's quote, the day came where the bud could no longer stay a bud, right? And it takes courage to let your insides fall out. So seeds literally burst open, the insides come out. To somebody who doesn't understand growth, it would look like destruction. But we have to be willing to let some things in our life, even if it's just thought patterns, be destroyed so we can have this transfiguration. So this is happening for you now. So again, I can't get across to you enough that if you're feeling stress in your life, if you're feeling constriction, like, what's the word? Friction. I think it's friction. If you're like trying to do things that you know are good, that you know you want to do, if you're feeling friction in getting there, it's just to be with it, because sometimes friction means it's not something that you're supposed to do. If it's not easeful, if it's not in the flow, it could mean that's not right for you. But also, this is an interesting time that we're in right this second, like this week. This is just like a week of a little bit of friction, of just holding you in place and letting you root, letting you ground, letting you have this transconfiguration. If you push, like, you can't run in, like if you want to build a new house, you can't run into the burning fire of the old structure that you're burning down. You'll get burned. You won't come back out. You have to wait. You have to wait for the fire to burn it all to the ground. You have to wait for the embers to cool, and then you have to clear that away before you can build the new. So that might be happening for you at this time, if this is resonating with you. One more card from this deck, acceptance. What do you need to accept? Is there something in your life, something that isn't the way you want it to be? Where can you offer acceptance? Maybe it's outward to the world because you've been viewing it from what you hear people saying and people's upset and complaints about the state of the world. So acceptance brings peace. So ask yourself, where can I bring in acceptance? I feel that there is one final card wanting to come out for you for this raise your vibration deck, a summing up, so to speak. Manifesting is my superpower. I love that because I feel like it returns us full circle to how this reading began. There is so much magic for you, and it's time to continuously work on shifting any and all lower vibrational thoughts and emotions up into the upper realms of divine love, of compassion, of acceptance, of all things beautiful, right, and true. Because you are a powerful manifester. You can create the most beautiful, magical, amazing, abundant life that you wish to be living in. So remember that you are that powerful, and anything and everything, even your own little thoughts or doubts that are coming in, those are your teachers to sit with, to invite in as a friend that's wanting to offer you some good advice so you can live your best life. So I'm really excited to hear from you if you would like to share, if you're able to spend some time this week between today's Mystic Monday and next. If you can spend some time addressing any and all little areas of friction that arise, sitting with it, inviting it in, asking where it came from. Why is this here? Is it mine? Do I need to keep this? Do I want to keep this? How do I move into a higher vibration? I would love to hear from you if you sit with some of these inquiries over the next week. May you have a most beautiful day and week ahead, and I will see you next time.